Hello VC, Michael, Clash City Rocker with another video. This one about David Bowie Record Store Day issues, releases that have happened since I guess 2012 might have been the first Record Store Day David Bowie release. And those of you who are Bowie fans know that the Bowie, or David Bowie when he was alive, and the David Bowie estate I've been very generous with releasing a multitude of titles and different formats on a yearly basis. And it seems like every Record Store Day, there's at least one David Bowie release, if not more. Before I began talking about the David Bowie Record Store Day releases, again, I want to thank those of you who have commented. I comment back. My goal is to be in a dialogue with people in the VC to talk about my collection, my love of music, for me to hear from you. And you talk about your love of records and music. If you like what I'm doing, please let me know so I can continue to do it. And then subscribe because, again, my goal is to connect. So I'm trying to determine how many people I'm connecting to. So today was Record Store Day. I'm sure all of you knew. I got up 3-ish. Went to one of my locals, got there in line, ready to go 4 o'clock. They opened the doors at 7. Let people in waves. I think I was in the 3rd wave. I had the usual list of 5 must-haves and 5, nice to gets. And I did pretty good. I didn't get the number 1 on my list. They only had 1. I didn't think I'd get that, but I did get one that I never thought I would get. But the one that was number 2 on my list is this one, the latest David Bowie Record Store release, this one from 2025. This is Ready, Set, Go Live, Riverside Studios 2003. And I was chuffed, as they say, to get this because I was lucky enough to see David Bowie on that tour twice. Once as a guest, a punter of sorts, as a paying patron. I went to a show about 90 minutes south of where I live, and a great show. Played a lot off Lodger, one of my favorite Bowie albums. And then I worked a show later in the year when David Bowie played my hometown, and I was a stagehand at the time. So I was able to see David twice on that tour, which ended up being his last tour. So really, really excited that Record Store Day decided to do a live David Bowie 2003 from his last tour. It was a great tour. He looks great. He was playing great. The band was amazing. So anyways, I downloaded, yes, here I am with my high-tech paper again, all of the David Bowie Record Store Day releases so far. And there's about 7 or 8 pages of them. And then my David Bowie collection. Those of you who watch my most popular favorite bands according to Discogs video know that David Bowie was number 3 after the Clash and the Beatles. So pretty good. So here's my Bowie collection of Record Store Day titles. Again, I was only buying these because I'm a David Bowie fan and I love his music from all eras. Obviously I have favorites. So the first one I got, 2014, this cool little 10-inch with kind of a 78 replica Columbia. This is some of the last music he ever did. Sue, or In a Season of Crime, and then 'Tis a Pity She Was a Whore, which is so true, but what can you say? And these are different versions that were on the actual final record. So that was the first one I got, 2014. So I realized I've been going to Record Store Day, queuing up with everyone else since at least then. I guess this would be the 12th year of doing that. Somebody asked me in line today. I couldn't remember. And then the next one I got, this is either from 2015 or 2016. I can't remember. This is 1966 David Bowie, 6 tracks, his Pie singles. Again, just a little bit past when he was moving out of his mod stage. And again, I didn't have any of the Pie singles, so I was great with that. And then for a while, I was buying You guys may have seen my video on 45s, the kind of forgotten element of the BC, which I still think are so important. And I got the Kingdom Come, Tom Verlaine, Bowie one, 2015. And then from the next year, I got this picture disc just because I think it looks brilliant. And Station to Station is probably my favorite Bowie album. Yes, I know the backstory. So 2 picture discs, a white one and a 2015 and 2016. And then unfortunately David passed, and then the floodgates kind of opened up. So this is from 2017, Bowie No Plan, the final studio recordings, that some of the stuff that wasn't released. This little kind of EP of sorts, Lazarus, No Plan, Killing a Little Time, When I Met You. Brilliant. Leaving us with wanting so much more. And then this kind of like oddball one from 2017, this little mini box set. This is the demos that happened. It was a promo demos for around Hunky Dory time, put together by Tony Visconti. And then one of my favorites, where I was so happy because David Bowie's stage. I mean, I used to have a ton of Bowie bootlegs on CD, but again, I sold all my CDs. So I'm trying to get things back on vinyl. So I've had stage or David live for a while. It's okay, but this is so much better. 2017, David Bowie, Cracked Actor, 5 sides, ends with Gene Genie, Rock and Roll Suicide, and John I'm Only Dancing. But the sequence of songs on here is so good. There he is in his Hamlet stage. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And again, sometimes when you're in a record store day and you're not really finding the titles you want, you just say, you know, I'm a Bowie fan. And look, there's a Bowie version of Let's Dance Live. Why not? This is from 2018. And then another brilliant live album. Again, I have Stage. It's okay. This is so much better. Welcome to the Blackout Live London 78 from 2018. Again, it ends with TVC 15 or TVC 15, Stay, and Rebel Rebel. And I'm pretty sure that this was the last time Bowie played my hometown in 1978 before the Glass Spider tour with Peter Frampton, which we can talk about a whole nother day. Next record store day release for David Bowie's estate was in 2018. It's a very interesting compilation of the Low and Heroes tracks. What I like about it is it's not just the instrumental, it's a little bit of both. And I guess this was another one that had been created that was just never released. Produced by Bowie and Visconti. Again, so the sequence, I'll just give you side one. V2 Schneider, then Always Crashing in the Same Car, then Sons of a Silent Age, then Breaking Glass, then New Cologne. And again, they alternate low, heroes, low, heroes, low, heroes. I really highly recommend this one. And then back to really early Bowie from that same period as that 1966, just a little bit later. This one from 2018. Basically his first album, but released in a mono and a stereo, a red and a blue version. And then one more 45, just because when David and Marlene Dietrich are on the same record, you have to pick it up. So 2019, Just a Gigolo again. David looking divine. Great artwork. And then, because we can't have enough of the Changes compilations, here's one more. Changes Now, Bowie. This one's from 2020. Very interesting collection. Man Who Sold the World, Aladdin Sane, White Light, White Heat. But as you know, and I'm kind of bearing the lead, as they say, this is the Live in New York City Unplugged from 1996. There he is in his Earthling garb. Love this. And then we're back to forgotten David Bowie live albums, 1974. This one came out in Record Store Day 2020. I'm Only Dancing the Soul Tour. And I think I misspoke before when I was talking about Cracked Actor. No, I was right. Okay, so then another one from 1974. Brilliant. This one ends with Rock and Roll Suicide Panic in Detroit, Knock on Wood. But then what's really amazing is a medley of Foot Stompin', I Wish I Could Shimmy Like My Sister Kate, and Foot Stompin', and then Diamond Dogs, It's Only Rock and Roll But I Like It, and then Diamond Dogs. And I forget the story, but I think Bowie actually wrote It's Only Rock and Roll. Was Ronnie Wood? Is that true? Somebody in the comments will tell me. I think it is. And then another one in 2022, a little EP. Great Bowie photo on the back. I'm not a big fan of this art. Kind of creepy. Toy, one of the Forgotten Bowie albums. If you're not familiar with this is a great album that never got released. We can save that story for another day. So 2022 Bowie Record Store Day release. And then another one from 2022, the Brilliant Adventure EP, which is a great one. This is live 1995 Shakespeare Festival, New York. Johnny Downloader, I Have Not Been to Oxford Town, are the actual studio tracks, and then a small plot of land and My Death. Very interesting. It's a cool thing about the Bowie Record Store Day releases, why I like Record Store Day, because if you really dig deep and look for some different kind of stuff, you really give the fans, and that's what we are, some gems. And then here's another one, more outtakes from The Next Day, including Love Is Lost, a Stephen Reich mix, and one by James Murphy. This also is from 2022. I'd Rather Be High. We could talk about that sometime. Like a Rocket Man, Born in a UFO, God Bless the Girl. And then the first side, Atomica, Love Is Lost, and the former. Great, great EP, in case you know it was an EP. That was from 2022. And then one more from 2022. One of my all-time favorite holiday Christmas songs. And the backstory on this one is insane. How Bowie and Bing ended up together. I guess Bing's kids were Bowie fans, and Bowie was kind of in that transition period. He looks great, but I love Peace on Earth, Little Drummer Boy. I think they work brilliantly together. I just think it's one of my all-time favorite holiday/Christmas songs. And then, of course, the B-side of this is the Bing Crosby White Whirlwinder. Der Binger. And then last year one that everybody was agog over, David Bowie, Waiting in the Sky. I kind of bought it for the cover. I'm not a huge, when I was buying bootlegs and stuff like that, I bought a lot of stuff like this. So this is the original, what Ziggy Stardust was going to be before some of the other tracks finally made it on here, including many people's favorite Bowie song from this album, which was Suffragette City, was recorded after. So this was going to be the original. And then again, the Bowie from this year was this, Ready, Set, Go. So I think, I don't know, I guess I should have counted ahead of time. So I probably got 20 or some Bowie Record Store Day releases. And then when I was going through my list of Bowie albums, and there were a couple of others that I grabbed that should be Record Store Day releases. In fact, I thought they were at first. This is the Toy album. This is a bootleg, I guess, ISO Records from 2011 with all the tracks from it. So Bowie Toy, kind of a forgotten album that should come out. And then this one, I know they're going to put out as a Record Store Day release. This is from 2012. This was Bowie's birthday celebration from 1997, so his 50th birthday. What's crazy about this is he does a couple tracks with Frank Black. He does a couple tracks with the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl. He does a couple tracks with Robert Smith. And then when he's alternating between guests, then he does his own stuff. Then he does one with Sonic Youth, and then one by himself. Then Gail Ann Dorsey does one, of course, Under Pressure. And then he does a whole side of Lou Reed songs. Queen Bitch, which is allegedly either Bowie or Lou Reed, depending on who you talk to. Waiting for the Man, Dirty Boulevard, White Light, White Heat. And then a bunch of Bowie again. And then Billy Corgan. And I've been watching his video podcast. It's quite good, actually. And then this one, I thought was a Record Store Day release. This one I was thinking of before. It should be. This is 1976, Live Nassau Coliseum, 2017. And then this one, I think this is a Record Store Day release from 2015, but I'm not 100% certain if this version of it is. So, again, I know people are hot and cold on Record Store Day. I like it. I got there earlier than I usually do because, in case anybody's still listening to this, I wanted the Oasis box set. I just checked the prices for it. It's going for over $200 and some. I wouldn't have flipped it, but I didn't get it. But I got a bunch of other ones that I really am happy with, including that Bowie one. And as always, you know, it's about the music, it's about the camaraderie, it's about the interaction, talking to the shop owner. I'm hoping that he has a really great day and she has a really great day because I was out there to support the community. Peace, Michael, Clash City Rocker.